Hi, welcome back. Do you think that Michael Jordan's kids growing up had an advantage when it came to learning basketball or athleticism? Right? It seems like a dumb question, right? But think about it. What do you as a CODA, as a sibling, as a friend, somebody who's been immersed in deaf culture, somebody who's been immersed in signing, somebody whose hands move fantastically, who's communicated and messaged and all kinds of things, what are some of the things that you've got going for you that you don't realize? I had this thought as I was thinking about, again, CODAs, siblings. You've grown up, you took sign language in high school, and you know what? You've got the gift. So what I'm about to talk about today, now it doesn't apply to somebody, this is your first class in high school or college, you know how to fingerspell. It's not what I'm talking about. Today, I want to talk about the fact that as you pick up sign language, you develop a talent, you develop some career clusters, we'll talk more about that here in a minute, that not everybody has. Okay, so I've identified five skills that you've picked up and are picking up as somebody who is proficient in American Sign Language. All right, so let's begin. Let's go through those 5 clusters and see how you can apply those skills in different career paths that you may not have thought of before. All right, let's go. Okay, so here's the first one. This is the ability to communicate complex subjects. You know what, you do that so much that you don't even think about it. But that's what you specialize in as a CODA, a sibling, somebody who has the gift, the ability to sign and to interpret. You take complex subjects and you translate, you interpret, you move them around so that the person receiving it can readily understand it, right? You're doing this. So let's think about some fields. In the medical field, for example, think about being a physical therapist, a registered nurse, a CNA, a psychiatrist, a surgeon. Think about how when that individual meets with somebody, they've spent 4, 8, 10, 14 years, a lifetime, amassing all this information that for them, it just clicks, absolutely just clicks. How can they be patient, thoughtful, and in the present enough to understand this individual, take all these complex subjects and communicate them in a way that is readily understood? And oh, by the way, it's not the same for the next person, or the next, or the next, or the next. So the ability to take complex terminology, to break it down, to communicate the message in a style and format and level that the receiving person can understand, that's a superpower for you as a CODA, you as a sibling, you as somebody who has the gift of sign language. Okay, that's the first one. Let's do the next one. So the next one's body language. Okay, you don't realize that in all the signing that you've done, right, all the nuances, all the fine points of body language that is invisible, okay, to most people, you pick up and process and add to language every single day. Okay, eyebrows up, the head comes slightly forward, even the chest and the hands and the arms and the face and even slight eye movements, all that is body language, all that communicates, and you have this. You have a gift. You can take that body language and figure out how it adds to or subtracts from the message that you're getting from that individual. Okay? Think about it in terms of law enforcement. Think about it in terms of law. Okay? There's a whole bunch of careers, sales, for example. How is that person feeling? Are they understanding the message? Are they understanding the value proposition? Are they understanding the risk? Are they understanding your concerns? And can you understand theirs? So much of communication is body language. I talk about that all the time on the channel, right? That this, without this, is only half of the signing. Your ability to gather information, to read people, to feel those emotions and expressions, that's another superpower for you that you should be able to use in a career path. All right, great, that's body language. Let's do the next one. Here's one you may not have heard before. In a lot of organizations, they are creating things called cross-functional teams. Okay, so what does that mean? I've got a team, and I have different functions in that team that all have to be communicated with to understand what's going on. Let me give you some examples. It's a superpower that you have to communicate tasks, responsibilities, deadlines, okay, to different people. Let me give you an example. How do you communicate from marketing to sales? Marketing's created the campaign, but they're not the ones meeting with customers every single day. So there's a liaison. There's somebody in between that has to help sales understand marketing. Okay, let me give you another example. IT, for example, information technology, the computer programmers, the computer designers, okay, all those guys that create a product, they have to interface with the individuals that run product. And what that means is they're talking to customers. What do they want? What do they expect? How do they interact with this program? They've got to communicate that to the IT and design guys to create it in the first place. That's all that is, right? That's all that is. That's a superpower when you know American Sign Language. Okay, is the ability with cross-functional teams to help them to hear each other, okay, to communicate to each other. Can't you see, as a sign language expert, how that would work in HR, okay, human resources, cross-functional teams, as a general manager, as a vice president, as a CEO? How do I get these different teams to work together and understand each other and lead out? You've got that as somebody who has the gift of American Sign Language, and you can use that in your career path. One more. Here's one I'm going to guess you've never even thought of. All right, it's peripheral vision. All right, growing up, I was always amazed that we'd be out in the forest, hiking around, doing whatever, and my dad had a range of vision. Remember, my dad was deaf. I'm a CODA myself. Okay, a child of deaf adults. Sorry, I should have explained that earlier if you're new to the channel. My dad and I would be out hiking, and his ability to see way back here used to blow me away as a kid. But you know what? You work on that every day as an ASL professional, right? When somebody catches your attention, you see a sign, you're listening to a message, you're seeing it signed, you're catching things off to the side. All that is peripheral vision. Now, what career paths? How about security? If you're in the security business, right? Eyes forward, eyes in the back of your head. You've heard that expression before, right? You have that natively as an American Sign Language user. Let's say you're working with livestock, and as a farmer, you've got animals everywhere moving around, and you need the ability to take in so much information. Again, I'm doing this. Where is that piece of livestock? Where is that sheep? Where is that cow? What are these doing? What are these guys doing? Is that gate open? You could see all the going on. How about athletics? Right? I'm trying to play football. I've got to read the defense. I've got to hear what's going on. I am multitasking. That's a superpower for those of you who have the gift of American Sign Language. You have the ability with your peripheral vision to see all kinds of things. It can be implemented in so many careers you haven't thought of. All right, last one. Okay, here's the last one, manual dexterity. All right, the ability to do this. You have, from the time you were born, if you're a CODA, okay, same thing as a sibling, all right, perhaps those of you, again, you've got to have the gift. There's something inside so many of you. You were drawn to American Sign Language. You felt the pull. You took some classes, and you know what? It just clicked, right? So manual dexterity, right, the ability to make signs beautiful, okay, to make things wonderful, to feel the emotion and the face and the sunshine, all that comes with a lot of manual dexterity. So what kind of careers need manual dexterity? Let me give you one from one that didn't happen very long ago. What about stitches? Would you like somebody who knows how to stitch up a super small, fine, almost invisible stitch so that the scar that is left behind is almost non-existent. That requires manual dexterity. How about the dentist? Okay, the dentist who's working on that tooth so close to the nerve ending, working on a cavity, working on something inside your mouth, the ability to come close but not hit that nerve so you come out of your chair. That's manual dexterity. How about music? All right, the ability to play a piece. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't blessed with that, but I know a lot of coders who can do that, right? Who have the ability with piano, violin, different kind of musical things, and they're blessed and they're enhanced because of their ability to sign. All right, so I want to go back over those 5 things again, right? Let me get my list so I don't forget. We talked about complex terminology, the ability to take a subject and turn it into an easy, digestible learning experience for the individual who's receiving that. Next, we had body language, okay? The ability to read, okay? I can see, are they understanding? How are they feeling? What's the emotion? And I can craft my message accordingly. Next, we talked about the ability to lead cross-functional teams, right? How do I get these different people with different responsibilities to communicate with each other and find a solution through clear, articulate communication? Next, we had peripheral vision. This one I have a lot of fun with. Think about it. Athletics, music, farming, livestock, a forest ranger, the ability to take in and process so much visually all around the world because you have ASL as a superpower. And then last, we talked about manual dexterity, the ability to do this. The ability to communicate everything from hate to love to kindness to meanness, just to joy, all right? So one of the things I love about American Sign Language is even just signing joy. You know, that was weird. Even just signing this, I feel that. I would encourage you, when you sign and when you feel that spirit, that motivation, that whatever you call it for you, it's that love you have, it's the gift. I keep saying that to you, but it's a gift that you're given to be able to articulate a message with your hands. Now, don't get me wrong, it's super important. We need interpreters, right? Legal, medical, educational, right? I get that. You know, video, in person, a whole bunch of different facilities. I get all that, and it's super important, right? My family and friends have been blessed for having interpreters, but I just had a thought that maybe you might not value all of these hidden superpowers that you have, that you're developing, that can be used in so many other career fields in addition to the traditional teaching, interpreting, etc. Anyway, I hope you feel the gift. It's a wonderful language to learn, to express, to communicate, and to receive. Hope it blesses your life like it has mine. If you've got any questions or comments, shoot them my way. Thanks.